It's crazy being here because, like, we've been meaning to have this conversation for a while now, and many people don't realize what we've been through together since we've started the whole Paradise Brothers channel and what it was about, 2018 and 2019?
2017.
And we've always talked about doing a YouTube channel, but I think it's really crazy being at this point because now, in a way, you're restarting it, but you're doing it at such a better position than we were before. So it just being real now and just us having this conversation is like I think it's like all hitting me at once. Like it's for real now.
Yeah, definitely feels, I don't even know how to put it, but like otherworldly. It feels like I feel right at home, but I know that quality-wise, production-wise, I'm glad that we've gone through so much and had life experiences and now get to come back and start anew, but at least with some experience. We're not going into it blind. We've done this before, but I feel like the product that we're going to be able to give people now is going to be just amazing. And I think that we both have a lot of stories and a lot of experiences to share with people that will probably resonate and a lot of people will be able to relate to versus when we're 18 and we're just, just trying to figure it out.
And I think a lot of people, at least in today's world, they'll talk about, oh, you just have to put out the content and you just have to do it. But I don't think people realize the place that we were both in 2018 and how much life we've lived before we even got on camera.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be very encouraging to people of chasing after what they want, but also making sure that they understand that there's life to live as well. And it's not always about living your life, understanding what life is trying to teach you while being on camera. I feel like a lot of that takes away. And we played the game a lot different. And it's like too much stuff to name and things we've been through, but we've been able to see life and then pick up the camera again. We started, had the seed planted, and then at that point chose our direction in terms of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty in what we've done. We're just not hopping on here without value to provide to people at the end of the day. So I think there's probably a million things we can talk about in this video. We'll try to keep it as short as possible so people get a sense of who we are and ultimately what we're about and what we're looking to do with this channel. But I'll open it up to you. Just tell me a little bit about who you are and what you're looking to give most out of your documentation of on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jeremiah McBride. I'm 24 years old, from PG County, Maryland. And what do I want to use this channel for? I think I've been obsessing with this idea over the past couple weeks or the past maybe month or two of just going from consumer to creator. And I go through my closet all the time. I'm going through all these brands that I've accumulated. I'll go through my YouTube channel and all these people that I watch. And I think what I'm trying to do now is go from the consumer of it to the creator. I feel like I have a lot of, for those that don't know, I've struggled with addiction from the time that I was, 17 until 23. And went through treatment, went through rehab, and I've been sober. Today is actually 16 months. Going through that whole process and all the life experiences that I'm going through, the highs, the lows, the traumas, the heartbreaks, the pain, I felt like it's all led to this moment where now I'm ready and comfortable with sharing my story because I feel like it'll help other people, but there is a part of telling your story that is very freeing. I heard somebody say last night, I went and spoke at a rehab, and I heard somebody say that sometimes I don't like speaking because, and I didn't really know why, and the guy hit it on the head. He said, sometimes we don't like to remember the time where we were, a decision away from our own destruction. And sometimes I like to put that in the past, but I know that talking about it not only frees me, but can help free somebody else as well. Just to show people a life of fun, a life of purpose, a life of paradise. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. What about you?
Well, thank you for sharing. If I were to sum up who I am, my name is Zach, also from Maryland, obviously. Doer of hard things, lover of all people, on a mission to help people uncover the personal divinity in themselves. I think over the past 3 years, we've lived a very interesting life. We've traveled, been able to see the world at different levels. We've been able to build careers and work within businesses. And I mean, we're not the stuff at all, but we've been able to learn a lot about life, specifically as it relates to doing hard things, taking care of yourself, understanding the mind, the psychology of the mind, all that good stuff. So I think through this journey, we hope to share our experiences, our stories, and relate that back to what's out there in the world and the people who are preaching amazing things and sharing amazing things and just being a part of that community that helps people, again, uncover that divinity within themselves to do whatever they want to do in this life and make it purposeful. So that was a long ramble, but
No, it's good. That's good.
that's like, there's so many things so many avenues we're going to go down with this channel, but if we were to break it up into 3 categories, and we're just kind of sharing the journey as we think along this, but if we were to break it up into categories, probably, what would you say? 3 categories that describe us.
Health,
Health, for sure. Foundation of everything.
purpose.
Purpose.
I think purpose is, because you could say like finances, but I'm not a finance guy. You could say, I think purpose is something that we've seen people trying to find at the highest level and people like us trying to find. I think that's something that no matter how much money you make, everybody's trying to find their purpose. And I think at least showing people how we're attempting to do that, taking new jobs and feeling like, you know what, I'm on a life mission to find my purpose. So
Even
health,
within those environments.
Yeah.
Even within those environments.
So health, purpose,
Finding ours.
finding ours. Yeah.
Finding your paradise is the best definition we can give of everything that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And not just be on here and give advice like we have it all figured out. Honestly, we're just documenting what we've been able to learn and experience to possibly help somebody through the value we provide in the videos.
Yeah.
So we're not saying like money doesn't matter and starting a business is a bad thing or anything like that, but we want to take all of that and kind of encompass it and document our journey and doing all of those things. So
Who are 3 people that, in the same way that we're about to go into this creative, going from consumer to creator, who are 3 creators, 2 or 3, that you feel like have impacted you the most out of everybody? Because what we're doing, we're not reinventing the wheel. We have consumed content for so long, and we'll continue to consume content. Like, who are 3 girls or guys that you feel like have impacted your life in a noticeable way in real life?
I would say Dan Coe.
Chris.
I would say Chris Johnson.
I was gonna say
OG,
Yeah.
yeah, because I followed Chris Johnson, and man, when he was living in, like, before anybody knew who Chris Johnson was, I feel like I had access to this private information that nobody had access to. So I would say Chris Johnson in terms of finances, money, building something for yourself, investing, like making money multiple ways, like all of that I've been looking at since high school, building an online business. Dan Coe, I read every single Dan Coe newsletter. I watch every single video. Dave's laughing because he does the same. But Dan Coe, I would say, has had the biggest impact in terms of me raising my level of consciousness, understanding of the world, and how everything relates to the digital world and being a creator within the world, which is what we're ultimately doing now. And Matt D'Avella, the idea of minimalism, I love this idea that minimalism rewires life in a way that's more simple to live, ultimately making you more fulfilled, kind of come to that on my own terms. And I think I found that through Matt D'Avella and have been relating every single thing in terms of minimalism to all of the other areas in my life, because less baggage to me is more opportunity to think clearly and ultimately get to where I want to go, which has been a huge impact on my life so far. So I would say those are 3 people.
That's good.
What about yourself?
I don't even want to do mine because it's going on like a smaller level. I would say you, Jabari, and Dad. Like, I texted Jabari this morning, like, congrats on the video, like, you're shooting a video today, and like, thank you guys for helping me embrace my creative side. Like, we were talking about recently, like, how one of my friends was like, it would be such a waste of talent if like you didn't create. And I think like what Dad's doing now, what Jabari's doing, what you're doing, what Ashley's doing, it's like, what a waste it would be, like, if the world didn't get to see that, because you guys decided that, I'm gonna chase money or there's this other thing. It's like you guys have so much talent. If dad decided to work a, 9 to 5 job, it's like, man, how much of a waste like his speaking ability would be. So, and he could do that and we could be financially great. But I think the idea of, again, creating your own, the three you guys have like showed me that it's not only possible, but it's what I should be doing. So
Yeah, we've had, I think people misunderstand us in a sense that they think we've had it all. Maybe people who know us or have seen like us and how we've grown up, we've had it all just given to us, like we don't have to work for anything. And I think we've been very blessed, yes, but we've had to work for every single thing that we've had.
yeah,
And that's just what our parents have taught us. And there's
Yeah.
been a lot of low moments that we've had, and especially together, like in our relationship. So that, and maybe we think a lot different. So I think maybe the image based on our last video are like, oh, these guys are gonna go around and ask girls to rate them, and just kind of feed the egos of two light-skinned brothers, like the joke you made in the first video. But that's totally far from who we are
Yeah.
today and everything that we've learned. So I would say those are probably two things people misunderstand about us.
yeah. I think even starting this, people are gonna have an assumption of like, oh God, like another two men doing a podcast that like think they have the answers, that are probably going to be talking about women and body count and about just the typical things, just the typical, there's so many things that go viral that you just see men with the podcast that are just talking about the same things. I think that what we want to do is almost the exact opposite of that, and bring new, fresh perspectives about finances, about loyalty, about being with one person, like about the gifts of like having a partner. I think that we want to bring not fresh, yeah, I think we want to bring fresh ideas and put them out there versus going down the same, inviting some girl on, telling her about all her, experiences. I want to have the exact opposite of that and talk to other creatives, talk to other entrepreneurs, talk to other influencers, and not just talk about the base level things, but really dive into like their stories and just kind of go against everything that is being put out there just to get clicks. I think that the difference this time is like we don't need, or we're not doing this for views. We're not doing this for affirmation. We're just doing this for the love of doing it. And we have other things that have helped us become successful. So this is like the cherry on top. Like we don't have to do anything that's gonna outrage somebody or spark something. So I think that what can be misunderstood, especially starting off, is our intentions behind what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna have to prove to people that we're gonna do almost the exact opposite of what is expected. So, and if you like it, you like it. Not,
Yeah.
those things are out there.
We know what mission we're on. So
Yeah,
through videos, people will see at the end of the day.
for sure.
And that's our hope,
Yeah,
is that people see it. People see the real mission and value behind it and leave with something at the end of the day. We're not perfect, but
yeah,
we strive to make the best decisions as possible. So that said, we'll end on, you already said how long you've been sober. So maybe just recap that. I've been sober for 6
Yeah.
months, and then go into the biggest thing that you've learned through sobriety, and that will just give people a glimpse of what we're going to talk about in the next video.
yeah. So, yeah, I do think another big part of our platform is going to be sobriety. I
Yeah.
think that not only will help other people, but it'll help give me another reason to not pick up. You know, I think every time I go and speak and I'm able to help somebody, it's just another reason for me to not look at the liquor store when I drive by. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that, yeah, I've been sober. I got sober July 5th, 2022. So yeah, today's 16 months. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that you can have fun and enjoy life without a drink or a drug. I think that that's not a perspective that I ever hear. I think that when I am consuming content, I see a lot of people with, you know, the typical life, which again, I'm not against in any way. I just know for me, what my struggles are and what brings me down. And I think that the perspective that I want to put into the world is that you don't need a drink or a drug to have fun. You don't need it to be around family. You don't need it to be around friends. You don't need it to enjoy life. And I think the second thing which ties into that is just I am much closer in my relationship with God without substances. Substances, for whatever reason, just drifted me away. Every day I was getting high, it just made me drift away from God, and I just started getting away from that. So I think remembering that I can have fun without it, and not drinking and not doing drugs has brought me closer to my higher power. So
That's good.
you?
Thank you for sharing. 12 months. Maybe.
12 months,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. About 12, maybe 12 and a half months sober completely. And I think the biggest thing, well, you've kind of said it all, but I think the biggest thing is just having a clear vision
Yeah.
and realizing a lot of what I wanted were not just on the other side of a drink, as in it's just going to automatically make life go better and you're going to get your way every single time. That's just not how it works, and you know that. But I think understanding that clear vision is a lot easier to get to when your mind is not constantly engaged and with a substance. And that for me was alcohol. And that went so far as like even the days you're not drinking but you're hungover, your mind is still not operating how it should. You're still dealing with the ramifications of you picking up a drink the day before. Same thing goes the next day when you're kind of hungover. Like we all know how it goes if you drank before. So I think realizing that my clear vision was on the other side of that, but I couldn't get there until probably maybe a year in. I just had to stick it out to see it.
For sure.
I think that was the biggest thing that I've learned, and I think that's the reason why I'll never pick up another drink again. So, and people don't really understand the impact of it until you walk the walk. And I'm grateful that I was able to see you walk the walk, and I've been able to go to AA meetings almost every single week, or try to go as much as I can, at least twice a month, and just see that environment and what drugs, alcohol, and substances do, not only to yourself, but to others around you.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be a supporter of that
Yeah.
because I know how much it's affected our family, still affects our family, and how much work it is to find a better direction. So that's two things, but that would be the biggest thing. So that's going to be the end of this video.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, turn on notifications. We're going to try to drop, I'm not going to put a time on it, but we are going to be consistent with our videos. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting us. Yeah, hope to see you in the next one.